guys, it's Wendy here with In Focus Prints and today I am bringing you a different video. I know you're used to seeing just my hands, but today I wanted to do a yearly update, let you know what's going on, what's been happening, things that have gone on in my life for the last year, and hopefully to say where things are going to move forward to. So today I thought I would bring just a quick video, hopefully it's going to be quick, video of what's been happening. So I really want to go back to 2016 and let you guys know how I started this channel, why I started this channel, and how I want it to move forward. So the first thing I need to let you know is in January 2016, my husband passed with cancer at January 28th of 2016. And I was struggling to find a place for me. I had been married at that point for 28 years. We had been living in the same house for 25 years. And I didn't know who I was anymore. So during his time with cancer, we were constantly going to doctor's visits, going to other hospitals for research, going to get a CAT scan or get an MRI or doing treatment or seeing another doctor. There was so much going on, and I was working a rotating 3 12-hour shifts. So I never knew when at any week that I would be scheduled. And my son was finishing up high school, fixing to go to college. And so I had to go back to planning. And it's not that I knew there was a planning community out there or anything like that. I had no clue. And so when my husband passed, I thought, I really don't need to plan anymore because I don't have all that stuff going on in my life anymore. But I had gotten so dependent on looking at what was in my planner that I knew when the planners came back on sale that I needed a planner. And like a lot of people, my first exposure was at Michael's to the Recollections spiral calendar or planner. And as I was standing in line, I heard some ladies behind me talking about how a great deal it was and that it reminded them so much of the Erin Condren. And I'm like, what is an Erin Condren? Who is this person? Is it, a thing? What is it? So I came home, immediately got on YouTube because, I learned early on when my husband passed that there were a lot of things I didn't know how to do, and YouTube could teach you how to do these things. My first experience was reprogramming the garage door when I had to replace the batteries in the remote control, and my door wouldn't open. So I discovered YouTube out of necessity. So when I got home, I went on YouTube and I looked up Erin Condren. I was amazed. And so I immediately bought an Erin Condren life planner. I won't say immediately. I probably was into the planning community and all of that for about 2 months, maybe, when I realized that what I really wanted was the Erin Condren and not the Recollections. So I put my Recollections up on the shelf and I bought an Erin Condren, and I have not looked back. Has my planning style changed over the years? Yes, very much so. I still love the Erin Condren, but I have found something different works for me now. And so I am a firm embracer of the Hobonichi. I love the Hobonichi Cousins, and I love the Hobonichi Weeks. So that is how I got into the planner community. That's how I started my YouTube video. And now let's move forward to 2018, beginning of 2019. I made the decision in 2018 that it was time to move out of my house that me and my husband had had for a long period of time. We had been in this particular house for over 20 years. Before that, we had another home that we had been in for probably 4 years, 5 years. So the backstory on this house is that it was my mother and father-in-law's house. So we had really been in this house for a long time. We knew this house inside out and backwards. And so when they got ready to downsize, they came to us and said, what do you think about buying our house? And we were like, absolutely, yes. So we got a really good deal on the house. It was 3,400 square foot. And that was still a lot of square footage for 3 people. It was my husband, my son, and myself. But we also had in our mind that we had aging parents. So my father-in-law and my mother-in-law were at that point in their 70s, late 60s, going into 70s. We knew the potential was there that they may eventually have to move back in with us. So the size of the house was not overwhelming at that point. So when my husband died, and it's just me and my son, for a while my niece came down to go to school, and I was like, please move in with us. We've got plenty of room. And so she did. But then she moved out. And, you know, school only lasts for a short period of time. And so she went back home, and we were just the 2 of us. And I used to always say we're like a marble rattling around in a shoebox, because that's the way it felt. So at that point in time, I was like, you know, I need to do something. I need to make up my mind. I need to make a decision and move on. And that's what we did. So we put the house on the market with one realtor, and it just sat there. It didn't sell. We kept getting viewings. I couldn't believe the amount of viewings we were getting. And it was a constant pricing issue. And this is where I tell everybody, the realtor doesn't set the price for your house. And if your house is not selling you, then you can demand that they lower the price of your house. But at the point in time, I was naive. I had never sold a house on my own. So I went with it for 6 months. And then his contract was running out. I did not renew that contract. And I picked another realtor. I did a lot of research on this realtor, and I felt really comfortable with her. And so she listed our house in 2018, the Friday before, a week before Christmas. And that day we had an offer on the table. We ended up taking that offer, and the offer was that we would close by the 17th, I believe, of January. So we went through Christmas and New Year's. I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know what to do. I was floored. I was lost. I didn't think that the house would sell that quickly. I don't know what I was thinking. So we started looking for an apartment. And because we had gone through Hurricane Florence in September before we put the house on the market, there was a lot of people displaced from their homes. And so we were finding it very hard to find something to rent. At that point in time, I knew number one, I didn't have time to find a house to even start the process of a new mortgage. So I knew I was locked into having to rent. And second of all, I didn't know where I wanted to buy or if I wanted to buy. I kind of like the idea of renting. I didn't have any upkeep. I wasn't tied into something. And if I decided, a year later I wanted to move, then by golly, I could just move. So I really didn't want to buy. And so we started looking for something to rent, and there was nothing. There was nothing. And at that point, I was like, what have I done? What have I done? I can't find a place to live. What am I going to do? So I ended up finding a total of 2 apartments. And out of the 2, I picked the one that we moved to because there was 2 reasons. The other apartment was 2 bedroom, 1.5 bath, and no washer and dryer connection. The one that I went with was 2 bedroom, 2 bath, washer and dryer connection. Because that half bath, it was not going to do it when you're sharing a bath with a 20-year-old and no washer and dryer. I drew the line at going to a laundromat once a week or twice a week to do laundry. The pricing was very similar. They were within just a few dollars each. So it was an easy decision at that point because I had to pick one or two. So we picked the apartment. And so we got everything packed up. We got everything moved. It was a very quick process because I didn't have the time. And at the time, I was stressing myself out. My brother came down and he helped. And he finally was like, Wendy, you just got to pack what you're going to take with you to the apartment. And what you know you're going to keep, we'll put that in storage. And I will get rid of the rest. You don't have to worry about it. And that's what we did. And so I went through and marked what was going to storage, what was going to the apartment. And we moved. And this process really took place over a week and a half worth of time. And so that move, my brother had about a week and a half to finish getting my house emptied. And he did it. I would not have been out. I'm just telling you guys. I would not have been out because the apartment I went to was 890 square foot. So, I had downsized big time. And some of the things I regret getting rid of now. But it's okay because I don't have all that stuff. I do still have a storage unit of things that I knew eventually I would need and that this move was just temporary. I did not know how temporary it was. So I knew my son would move out in May and then I would have my office and I could pretty much empty my storage unit, hopefully. And what else I couldn't unload out of the storage unit, I felt like at that time would be where I could make the decision to let it go or whatever I was going to do. So May starts coming up really quick and my son and his girlfriend came to me and said, you know, our plan was to move into an apartment together. Things have changed. And that's their story to tell. It's not mine. I'm not going to tell you what led up to them making that decision and why they came to live with me. But they were both still in school. They're both at the college here in town. And she will be graduating in December. And my son has 2 more semesters to go. And the reason he only has 2 more classes, but the way the classes are laid out, he will have to go 2 more semesters. And then he will graduate. Because he did take about a year off. All the stress and everything just kind of hit him all at one time. And I think a big part of that was that he was keeping me going. And I think he felt like he needed to put all of his attention on me to help me move forward. And so I said, yeah, not a problem. We can move up to a 3-bedroom, which is what they wanted to do, which was their suggestion. And so that was going to give me an office space. But when we moved in, his girlfriend Emma really needed office space too. So as you can see, she's got part of my desk and has part of the office in here with me. So I still do not have room to continue my Traveler's Notebook inserts. And I'm hoping once this lease is up in May that I am going to have a room to have another office and to move along with my Etsy shop. So what's going to happen over the next year? I'm hoping to expand my channel. I want to do more things. If you will notice, I have started branching out with a few different things. I've been doing fountain pens. I have really found that I enjoy fountain pens. I like changing the ink. I like that aspect of a fountain pen, and I like the way they write, and I have gone down that rabbit hole too. But that's okay. And so I want to do more than that. I want to expand and possibly do some lifestyle and that kind of thing. So our lease will be up. I know I'm jumping all over the place. Our lease will be up in May. And at that point is where I will meet. It's not a need, it's going to be reality, is I'm going to make a decision on where I'm going to be. Am I going to rent another apartment? Am I going to rent a house? Am I going to purchase a home? What am I going to do? Am I going to stay in Wilmington? Am I going to move closer to my mom? My decision will be made at that point. My mother has Alzheimer's, and there are 5 children, and out of the 5 children, it's me, my youngest brother, and my youngest sister, who are pretty much her primary caretakers. And my sister just moved to Michigan in November. The very first week in November, her husband was transferred, and so she had to go. So now it's me and my brother. And so there are things that a male or a son cannot do for their mom, and that's why I feel like life is intervening again, and that I need to be closer to my mom. So that means that's a 2-hour inland move to be closer to my mom. And so that's what I am making a decision on over the next few months. And that's going to be a big decision. But either way, I am going to be moving out of this apartment. And so when I move to my next place, I intend to take you along with me. You're going to go through the process of looking for an apartment, looking for a home, whatever it is I decide that I'm going to do. And I'm hoping to take you along with me and show you from the ground up of what's going on. I did not do that last time because it was just, everything just moved too quickly, too fast, and I just did not have the time. So the other thing that I have decided is that I really like to travel. I'm really loving traveling, and I want to take you on some of my travels with me. I want to learn how to do a blog style or vlog style of video where I can take you with me on my vacations and show you some of the things that I'm seeing and why I'm so enamored of the traveling lifestyle. So I want to broaden the channel for that also. The other big thing that is going to happen, which I'm hoping by January, this is in process, is I want to start a podcast, and I'm trying to figure out a name for my podcast now, and I want something catchy, short. It may entail planning information, it may not. It's going to be lifestyle, life events, that kind of a podcast channel, and it's going to be a lot of things. So I don't want to pigeonhole by the name what my channel is going to be, because that's what I did with my YouTube channel, and I don't want to do that this time. The other thing is I want to rebrand my name for my YouTube channel, and that will, as soon as that is all done and finished, I will let you guys know about it. I will do a short video at that time letting you know what it is. But I'm looking at, I want it to be all-inclusive, what I'm doing. I don't want to be just a little part of Wendy is what's in the planning community, and that's all I'm showing you. I want to show you the Wendy that likes to travel, the Wendy that likes to be a photographer, the Wendy that has things that I like to do. I like to decorate. I like a lot of different things, and right now I'm not showing that to anybody. So I want to broaden my channel. So the podcast, more content, different content. The last thing, one of the last things is I'm going to start doing a photo a day. I don't know what platform that's going to be on. I don't know if I will start a different Instagram account, if it'll be on my same Instagram account. I don't know. But my rules for a photo a day is going to be exactly what it is. I will take a photo of something that I find interesting that day, or just something that catches my eye. It will be a photo a day. Now, if I miss a day, I have to start all over, and I don't like that. So I'm hoping that by starting this photo a day and not missing a day, it's going to keep me, you know, with my camera in my hand more than what it has been over the last 2 years. And so I'm going to do that. My other thing that I was looking at is I want to start some kind of a book club, or maybe a podcast about books, whatever. I'm an avid reader. I love to read. My goal this year on Goodreads was 75 books. This year I made my goal. I'm so excited, guys. And I made that goal the first to the middle part of November. And so it's been about a week and a half now, I guess. And so I want to do something book related, and I haven't figured that out, but I'm hoping after the first of the year I will know exactly what I want to do there. So I've got a lot of things up in the air, and that is the reason I just wanted to step up and say this is what's going on and this is what's happening with my channel. I'd also like some feedback from you guys. I want to know, what is some of the content you want to see? What is something that I could do different that you would enjoy seeing? Just anything goes, guys, within reason. I love doing the YouTube channel, and I am enjoying it, and it has brought me to want to spread my wings and move into the podcast realm. And I'm hoping that with the podcast I can reach some people that feel like they're going through the same things that other people are going through, but they feel like they're in it by themselves. So I'm hoping that my experiences and the experiences of some people that I know that I have met going through this process of losing my husband, I have met some remarkable people, and they have become my friends. And I just want to bring those experiences to other people and say, you're not alone, and you can move on with your life, as hard and as difficult as it may be. You probably do have somebody to reach out to in your life, or somebody that you can listen to that can just say, you know, I felt that way. You're not alone. And so that is where I really want to focus a lot this year, are on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram account, and on a podcast. So when those things start panning out and everything is up and in place, I'm going to let you know. So the biggest changes coming is the rebranding and starting the podcast, and hopefully in January taking you with me on my travels that I will be doing in January. And I'm hoping to have at least one other trip planned this year, and I've got some ideas in place, and I'm hoping it'll be something that you're going to like. Of course, I feel like I will fly back up to Canada again this year to visit my friend Jan and Daphne, my two friends, Jan and Daphne. And Jan will be with me on my vacation in January. So hopefully she will allow me to do some video of her. But those are the things that are changing. So please leave me some information down below of things that you would like to see. If there's something that I could do differently or expand on, let me know, because I am, as I said before, I am open to suggestions, and I want this channel to be as much about you as it is about me. So until next time, guys, bye-bye.